Hello, Atom here, welcome back to more Kerbal Space Program. I am refueling my plane. Feels like it shouldn't be this difficult. Let's just go ahead and disable the science stuff from the section group. No. The other thing... Okay, which doesn't have an action group. Manually extend up. Excuse me, what? I hope I have a quick save. I will have a quick save while I'm on the ground, but do I have one while I'm docked? Yes. Okay. I'm not quite docked, am I? How did I do this last time? Slowly getting into position? Yeah. There we go. Things all docked together. Charges going down. Quick save here. Hope nothing goes wrong. So, let's see if maybe that fixes rotation there. And hopefully it doesn't just explode it. Nope, no exploding. It is once again rotating. Gauge motors, I guess. Hopefully... can't disengage it. That's doing... Oh, wait, just traverse right. Okay, it's going... Okay. Well, that is doing a thing. While it is doing a thing, we are just losing power and not actually creating fuel. Let's just start off with liquid fuel. Let me just update the action groups again. Get rid of science. Just toggle 5 so that we turn these off, so that will save us some power. Although we are going to run out anyway. Just quick save here. Walk to sunrise. While before they burn up, just okay. In case electric charge is going up now. Or is going down. I'm up a bit. Liquid fuel will fill up. climb up a bit more. Oh, we're doing oxidizer as well. I think we're doing liquid fuel and oxidizer. Okay. A little bit less efficient because of that. 92% thermal efficiency. We're doing multiple, but I think that will be still more liquid fuel than if we just did liquid fuel. Ore here is running out. I will now toggle ore is still running out, okay. But what if I disable liquid fuel plus oxidizer? No, ore is still running out, okay. As oxidizer is still going up. Do I have another in situ resource thing? Is it in here? No. What are these on? Can't tell. Camera. An ore tank, okay. By the service module. I can't enable cutaway, okay. What do I see here? That one, okay. Now we only have liquid fuel. So we can fill back up a bit. Oh. Or if I have enough now. Got enough for that one. Probably enough, right? Maybe just for good measure, fill this up. I think we're probably good to go. Okay. Oh, yeah, what about these sections? Okay. I mean, it shouldn't take all that much fuel. But I guess we could bring back fuel and then sell it once we land. I'll go for the larger rocket piece and go out the side ones. And put everything into the larger one. That's basically out of liquid fuel. And not much liquid fuel. Okay, drained all the what? Probably enough, right? Let's just quick save and try. Okay. Dock. Yes, and I'm on the wrong side of that connection. Here we go. I'll reverse. That actually works now. Okay. Save a RCS on that. Now then. And there we go. So, which part? The whole thing? Or are you talking about the space plane? Stuff that makes a huge loading screen worth it? But I do find it funny if I have the drills pointed straight down, because they're large drills, they don't actually fit. So they have to be angled. But also, because I was landing this, I wasn't sure necessarily which way would be down. So, yeah, I've got these on servos to rotate. Camera here. See, I've got them on rotation servos, because then no matter which way I land, it will be the right way up. Yeah, basically found a place which would have good mining, so then set this whole base there. Also, no idea what is happening with this connection. I think it's supposed to be connected like back here, but this heavy rover's just span. Anyway, now could be launching that. Oh, how do I do this again? Open up the cargo bay. Which action group is this again? Okay. Yes, anymore? Nuclear's already powered. That should be enough. You alright? I hope. Just get ourselves a bit more of a runway. so let's shield on that. Yeah, glad you enjoy that base that I have. Can't quick save while going over the surface, oh well. And still physics warp. Probably relatively good. Current goal, I'm taking some tourists around. So yeah, I've got about 3 different tourist missions that I'm working on, all in one lot. So ferry 3 tourists safely to their destinations. I've got one which needs to fly by or orbit Minmus, and then also this lot will be going to Gilly. I'll put them on a station. This one hasn't actually left Kerbal yet. Meanwhile, these 2 tourists orbit Minmus or fly by Minmus. They landed on Minmus, and I got a gravity assist from the moon to get here. And this one needed to land on Minmus. So that's 2 sets complete, and then another one partially complete. Nothing there. Okay. I should not be turning while I'm physics warping. Let's slow down for physics warp and now turn. Okay, not the strongest direction for those reaction wheels. Do you want to go more that way? Get past that hill, then I will try launch. I mean, yeah, launching that way is probably fine. You might have hundreds of hours. This is my first career mode game. Let me just pull up Steam. I'm sure everything's going fine with the background. I do have 400 hours, yeah. Where am I? That's the gap I'm looking for. Last. Turn off SAS so we don't start lifting off ground. Let's get it so we've got a straight line through there to take off from. This space plane was originally designed to take off from Minmus, but it has been a long time since I've done that. So, any luck? It's already at 200% brakes. Let's get rid of the air brakes and then turn slightly. By slightly, I apparently mean a lot. I have SAS on. Go. Brakes and rockets. So, best angle. Overshot slightly, but fine. Yeah, I mean, these are ice flats, so makes sense. I think that's probably low enough now. Try to get a good angle. That direction. That direction. I've completely overshot again. There we go, that's about right. Brakes so we don't accidentally hit them. Now, turn off those engines. Turn on the lifting engine. Quick save first. Always remember to quick save. Actually, yeah, I can keep the on. Oh, come on. Don't point that high up. Track to landing gear now. And be relatively fine. Oh, I mean, we aren't that high above the ground, but still. Do you want to make sure that we clear the mountains at the end of this line? Not too worried. Not too concerned with aiming above prograde like this. Oh, it's just what I brought in landing gear. Okay. Oh, what's my... It's not giving me a trajectory yet. Perhaps this is less... It's not that high up. Let's speed this up a bit. Oh. Speed that up a bit too much. Oh well. Let's just get to... don't need those engines anymore. Yeah, it certainly would have been doable with just nuclear power, I think, but that will do quite fine. Quick save here, and then just count time up. Okay. This is what it is then. So, kind of going home. I will be... honestly, I'm not sure with these tourists. I'm not sure what would happen if I return them to the Space Center. So, I plan to stop in orbit of Kerbin, drop them off in a space station there, and then a separate rocket will go out, meet with them, and then go to Gilly. I'm up now. Good. Oh, I've got some things waiting in the background. Juna capture in 60 days, and then I've got an Eve rescue mission, but it's 400 days until it's got a good maneuver. So yeah, I figured I'm doing career mode. I might as well get more things. Any punishments words. Any punishment if you don't meet things like orbiting around Gilly? Yeah, so if you fail the contract, you lose some of the advance, or you lose the advance payment, you lose the rating thing, the reputation. I don't know if No, I've shot my... Well, I don't know if landing them or returning them to the Space Center would count as failure. But I know, like, crashing and killing them almost certainly would. Where's Kevin? There it is. Okay. Down to Kevin's orbit. Or down to Kerbin. Or prograde to lower our periapsis. Also later 300, 180. Not an atmosphere. There we go, that's atmosphere. Let's go for like 50 kilometers. That should be safe with that, I think. Yep. Time up to it. And yeah, the other punishment, I guess, is that you don't get the extra money for completing the mission. I suppose while I'm out here, I probably should fix the inclination. Never mind. I'll fix it once I leave Minmus orbit. So it's a 3-minute long burn, so that means I should be... It's at about minute 30. In physics swap. Okay, I'm gonna take one of them on a close flyby, Sun. I don't think I need to have a close flyby. I think I just need to have them orbit around the Sun, yeah. So as I go to Gilly with this lot, I will naturally end up orbiting the Sun. I don't know what the requirements for flyby the Sun are, actually. Yeah. Okay, slightly concerned. Do a bit of warp. Oh, I'm in physics warp. I'm warp. Time warp. Yeah. Let's... Main... Here? Slide is 5 days, that's... yeah, we're not going to be... Angle on that. Ooh, okay, yeah. Apparently you do need to get them fairly close by to count as a flyby. I guess I will be... guess I will be using Eve. Get what are they called? Gravity assist. Yeah, I'm not going to be in plane of the station. So I'm basically right at Kerbin. Let me fake as Kerbin. And then it's station. Yeah, descending node's there. Ascending node is within the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure. In any case, while I'm out here, just boost the orbit slightly then. Rather than going down to 40 kilometers, let's go to like 50. I well overshot. 60 will do. Walk forward. I've got more stuff. Maybe I could show after landing or docking. What do you mean by that? I'm sorry. Like other things that I have in like space. Oh, there's Kevin. Surface prograde, and I should bring the solar panel back in, I think. Doesn't get bent. Bring off other spacecraft? Yep, sure thing. I press 5, there we go. Now I can close the cargo bay doors. Ooh, I need to close that one too. And I don't remember what those ones are set to. Okay, let's just retract the antennas though. Or time warping till we hit the atmosphere. I think let's try doing a radio out. Although it will end up making me burn more fuel. But I would like to get this orbital period a bit further down. So increase the amount of drag that we have. And worst case scenario, it should push us to like with the more more drag of the bottom. That should then push us to pointing directly into the airstream. Wonder. Okay. Angle it slightly. Can I change the nation? One. Oh, we're going out already. Oh well. Okay. We are getting a moon encounter that I would rather we didn't. But aero braking was way slower than that. I mean, yeah, it can be. Normally when I aero brake, I'm not doing this, but also this time I wasn't going as deep into the atmosphere. And I'll maneuver it at descending node. Negative 76.3. That's going the wrong way. This will be the right way. You know what? I'm just going to make a maneuver node here, and then I will normal. Save, so I don't miss that maneuver. Up. And yeah. Aero braking is always viable. Any way that you can shave off a tiny bit of velocity is good. Yeah, I brought the orbital period from 14 days down to less than 2 days. Okay. And I will just be normal to the surface. Now, warp, so we're facing the right way, or physics warp. Now, if I move this to the descending node, how far away is that? 3 minutes? Yeah, let's wait until it's maybe 2 minutes 30, and then we'll... 3 minutes. Goes. As we change path, to change our path, our trajectory, the normal direction will move. I think this should be fast or more efficient than if I did it in a single maneuver. This way, as we're changing our trajectory, we are also changing the turn direction. Yeah, no, you're not buffering. It's nice to be able to chat with someone. What got me interested in KSP? I think it was... Ooh... Did Enter Elysium? I think it might have been. I remember watching Enter Elysium. No. Oh, what was his name? Rock Gaming, I think it was. I think back in the old days of YouTube, it recommended me his videos, and that's what originally got me into it. So I think it was, and I think I probably already liked space at that point, but didn't know any of the orbital mechanics. From then, yeah, a bunch of other KSP creators. So I think that then got me into Enter Elysium, and then later on got Manly. But then I never really got around to actually playing the game myself. But now I am. And then at some points, I think probably when I was looking into calculating things for orbital mechanics, when I came across Matlon, or it might have been, I think it might have actually been that I wanted to make a space plane, and then Matlon always makes space planes. Yes, in the end, It all boils down to YouTubers. Okay, now that we've got our inclination all sorted out, let's go for another air brake. $60 kilometers? Correct? No, that is not correct. Okay, it's pinned. I don't even know it here. Oh, right. I need to select the maneuver periapse. And I've gone too fast, so there isn't one. Okay. That's 50 kilometers, I think, should be good. I've always liked space and dealing with gravity, drag, acceleration. I mean, yeah, I've always liked math science. So space has a lot of maths and science. I think then it was Scott Manley talking about in order to rendezvous with something ahead in your orbit, you slow down, and all that sort of counterintuitive stuff that really got me going, oh. So yeah, learned that. Let's just don't want to wait for the actual periapsis. It's close enough. Oops. What's periapsis at now? 50 kilometers? You know what? I don't mind that. Isn't that what I was aiming for? Forwards. And then with career mode and having limited budget, being able to return your vessels is really nice. So yeah, I've made a few space planes. Yeah, with the whole gravity turn stuff. Also, I think another Scott Manley thing where it's like, okay, or might have been the next KCD actually, or what if. But it's like, okay, well, if I'm realizing I am low on power, let me just charge quickly. Sun, where's the sun? Let's just charge before we hit the atmosphere. Yeah, so something about what's the best way to throw a baseball if you want to get it back to Earth from the space station or something? And it's like, okay, yes, you throw it backwards and you can see how much you cancel out the velocity, so that would show you how far it goes down the orbit. Because you don't want to throw it straight down, because if you wait in orbit, it's going to hit you in the back of the head. That one's always a fun one. That's going to be enough. Let's retract. Button down the hatches, and raise it out. So I'll try to do it in a way that keeping us pointed towards. Kind of knowledge makes literal jokes fun. Just yeah, fun facts. Time walk to the surface. Oh, not to the surface, to the atmosphere. Very different. of the atmosphere, so we're actually pointed the right way. Okay, now time. Oh, yeah, so much for time warping. Instead, I shall physics warp. Okay. Interesting. That's not where I expected that to go. Yeah, most of the fuel is down this side. Most of the weight is here. Not actually getting as much torque from that. Let's move as much as we can out from the bottom fuel tank to as high up as we can. That's not going to be much. Okay. More than I expected. We're actually fighting our way back. No, I think we're losing that fight. Still pumping out oxidizer. Wouldn't be able to build an SSTO even if I had thousands of hours. I mean, honestly, a lot of it is just Matlon. I think Matlon has well, it has tutorials on what you want in an SSTO. Stuff like where to put the center of lift, like how much thrust you're gonna want, or how much delta. Yeah, I mean Matlon I think tends to have more part clipping. I don't particularly like having part clipping. But yeah, I didn't start off with one that just goes to Minmus. I started off with one just to get to low orbit. And then I think another one to get to low orbit that actually carries stuff into low orbit. And then I had a mission at Minmus. So I decided to make one that would go to Minmus and be able to land on Minmus. In terms of actual, this is one I mostly use nowadays, even just to get to low orbit. Out of the atmosphere. Let's go for another pass, I guess. Perhaps it still looks fine. Okay, although I'm somewhat low on power again. So yeah, I've just got some whiplash engines. I made this before I unlocked rapiers, in part, but also whiplash is more efficient from memory. A couple of aero spikes just so that I can have something that's good in vacuum and in atmosphere. Then nuclear so that's efficient in vacuum, so it's low thrust. And because I've got jet fuel and the nerve, I mostly just need liquid fuel. Basically all just of this. I had some issues with my early draft. I did design this one in Sandbox. I've got full battery now, so let's just retract that again. I think I needed to bring like 6 Kerbals to Minmus, so that's why I've got crew hatch and the inline. And somewhere along the way I needed to dock. I think actually with that refueling from the start of the stream. Yeah, I noticed as I was coming in that the vertical stabilizers that I had, or no, in any case, weren't actually, they were being obscured by the rest of the craft when trying to maneuver, so I've got them on both the top and the bottom. Also got some drag chutes in there. Apart from that, it's, yeah, okay, for bottom, that's what it was. For bottom stabilizers were added because the top ones weren't actually able to be used in certain configurations. And yeah, just put some aero brakes on. That's about it, and a bit of RCS so that I can do some maneuvers to dock with things. Yeah, that is basically it. I've thought of doing a dual 5. Not quite yet. I am not ready for a dual 5. Maybe if I allow myself to refuel from places, I think then I'll probably reuse an SSTO. Maybe I'd make a fresh one, but land on Lathe and basically do my refueling from Lathe jet engine. Good news is that we still have 0 for our descending node. Degrees. Now, I don't want that to go too low, but we are near our lowest point now. I do have something in the dual system, but it was just for getting some science back when I needed science. Always spent hours trying to make a fully functional moon refueling station. Never managed to get to the part where the rocket goes down and grabs fuel from a base. Yeah, I will say the moon, that's difficult. You probably have a better time trying it from Minmus. Yeah, Minmus having lower gravity makes it a lot easier to take off and land. And especially in the ice flats. The nice flats ground to land on. Don't have to worry about landing on the side of a crater. So, I mean, there's benefits and downsides to it either way, but I think the benefits from Minmus much outweigh the downsides. Because yeah, the amount of fuel to get to intercept the moon and intercept Minmus is practically the same. If I pull up the Delta V map mode, you'll be able to see it. Probably be able to see it better than I can at the moment. I will pull up self to read. Yeah. Just to get an intercept, it's 70 meters a second. On the ideal case, 70 meters per second extra just to get the intercept. But to get the orbit, it's a lot easier, and to touch down, you make up for that. Or the even if you include the worst case inclination. Uh, yeah, any downside is inclination, but you more than make up for that in takeoff and landing. And also, it's just easier. Take off and land from. Yeah, that should be good. Physics warps for the rest of the way through this. Back out in space. Boost ourselves out of the atmosphere. And we get a close approach. And time warp. Minmus is definitely the easier one to go to before the moon. 30-second burn, so 15 seconds aside. That'll be close enough. KSP alone is incredible. Imagine a game with thousands of players can build their own stuff in populated solar system. There is a mod I've seen where you can play multiplayer KSP. But it gets a bit jank when time warp is involved. You will have different people in different timelines, basically, almost. And so you can break someone's vehicle in the past when they've already gone off and done stuff. Let's forward a few orbits. Oh. Bit more burn. See how close we can get this. So, 1.2 kilometers. Closest. Timing it. Yep. Go in orbit later. Nope. Doesn't like that. Okay, let's just keep it fair then. Assume that don't improve anymore. Okay. Just imagine a chill dude on his way to Juno when suddenly his rocket is gone because someone crashed into it years ago. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it handles all of that, but I do remember people intentionally crashing other people's rockets in 0.9, that will do fine. Maneuver. The mod's probably still around, but yeah. It is also pretty incredible how quickly KSP was made. I mean, you got the spaghetti stuff and Kraken. Typically not too bad, except I don't like SAS. When SAS doesn't work properly, that is annoying. But yeah, I mean, it works. A lot better than KSP2 ever did. Ooh, 0.0. No, I get that quite often, but I am actually Australian. Up now. Yeah, that's just me. Loads of lost these files. Okay, some radio I can. Making things worse again. Okay, let's just step in. Just go by target velocity. Yeah, I mean, there's a few different Australian accents. Oh, 36 seconds to intercept. It's not great. Might need to activate the aero spikes. Yeah. There we go. Now, let's... Okay, so I'll push the retrograde over towards the anti-target. Cool. That will push us towards... will both slow us down and then also push us closer towards the target. Yep. Yep. Okay, 150. I've probably pushed it too far now. Maybe to people that natively talk English might be very clear. I mean, I'm somewhere that mostly talks natively English, but a lot of people here also think I'm British. It's just there's about 3 different Australian accents. One's like for Crocodile Dundee, very much what people think of as an Australian accent. Most people don't actually speak like that. Then you've got like received pronunciation, which is mine. That's also probably about 10%. And then the vast majority are basically somewhere in the middle. A bit of physics warping. Okay, time warping then. There we go. Just I'll grade just a bit close to the station. A bit closer. That then. Looks like a good target. Good stop. So, open up the shield, point at the target. Hopefully not hit anything. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Ignore the fact that there's a strut right over the front of that docking port. I swear this is well thought out. And I am just wondering. Oh, it's got no. Those are just ladders. Yeah, if this gets detached, I don't think there's any saving that. Now, in any case, let's focus on that target. I mean, yeah, I'll try docking RCS, if that's the thing. Aim the camera up front. think here, turn off. I think up. No, that's down. Up. Actually, SAS on so you can keep pointing at the target. Yeah. Cancel out that velocity. Engines on slightly. Below target so that we can point towards the target quicker without using too much. Back to pointing at target. Kind of hard to actually see. Or is she okay? Oh, nope. It bounced. Yeah, Australia has the only observatory that can talk to spacecrafts south of the solar system, like Voyager 2. Okay. That's not great. Really should have just slowed down with monoprop. Still twisting. Ooh, that's not great. Trying to keep myself from hitting it by using the landing legs. Oh no, the whole thing's just spinning now. Yeah, I mean, most of the landmass of Earth is in the northern hemisphere. Not that much in the southern hemisphere. Let's just very quickly pull that in. Oh, I can't. Those are not retractable solar panels. Okay. Oh, hopefully they don't get destroyed then. Back to this. We are nearly out of monopropellants as well. So, in that case, I might just go for the control from here. Set as target. Turn off the RCS. I cannot point to target. Okay. Well, great. And this is out of electric power. Okay, also great. Oh no. Everything was looking nice and smooth, and then it didn't. On the plus side, nothing broke. So can we call this a failure? No, it's no failure. Everything was perfectly okay. And you can see here, this is my emergency escape vessel. If something were to happen to the station, and the Kerbals that are on board need to leave, have that. Yeah, I think I might just need to. Although I think we should have an alternator on the engine. However, got an alternator. However, I don't have SAS. But I think I will just wait for sunrise. Okay. Tiny bit. Oh, okay. Apparently not enough power for... Yeah. SAS modes? Excuse me? Okay, well, let's just wait for here we go. Nearly now. Yeah, for emergencies like normal necessity, yeah, threatening to kiss it brutally. Yeah. Now what I don't like is that it seems like the sun will be behind the body and will be blocking the solar panel. Oh, no, we've got just a tiny sliver. Now get the sun into a position where it can actually shine on the solar panel. Then there's our target down there. SAS has stopped working. There we go. SAS is working again. Not moving fast enough relative to target C's. Retrograde. Don't like that. Don't like when it does that. Just build up some more electric charge first. Not that far away. Oop. I pressed the wrong button. But hey, at least it's still not that far away. Sped up time warp instead of slowing it down. Cancel out velocity. Fortunately, I have used up basically all the monopropellant. So I will need to have everything all low velocity and all velocity cancelled out. Okay. Oh. Pointing somewhat the right way. Pull the prograde towards the target. Go, close enough. Actually, get it above 1 meter a second, so I can use retrograde. I still believe things will go smooth the second time, and if it also fails, everyone knows third time's a beautiful charm. And if that doesn't go well, then we can always invent a new thing for number 4. Oh, okay, no. Retrograde is now leaving the anti-target, so push the retrograde marker towards the anti-targets. Oh. Yeah, another tip. You pull the retrograde marker when you burn, and you push the... No, you pull the prograde marker and you push the retrograde marker. So when you're burning in a direction that isn't directly on top of the maneuver, or the direction, I guess, the way it behaves is different. So prograde, it will go towards the direction that you're pointing at, and retrograde will go away from it. So you can see here, I will make it so that I'm pointing the opposite side of the retrograde marker to the target marker, which will then push the retrograde marker towards the target marker. Yeah, you've got plenty of words in the dictionary. Could even use thesaurus. Oh. Yeah, that's lying. Okay, I might need to go a bit faster towards the target. Yes, it does like to move things around in physics warp. Okay, so now you can see prograde marker just put it over top the target. Now retrograde. Okay. Might need to go a bit faster still. Oh, retrograde, so you can cancel it out. Good thing Friday's day off. Yep. I hope to get more done. Although I guess it's only been an hour and 20 started. But yeah, I've got plenty of time to. Okay, maybe I should consider slowing down. I'm also just noticing one set of Poodle engines. I think it's because they were on top of this, but then I wanted to put a docking port there, so I had to move the Poodle engine out of the way. Okay, pretty much can't. What are my options? I can't go for the big docking ports, so it has to be one of the smaller ones or medium-sized ones. That's the closest one. Cancel out the rest of velocity. How often do I stream? I try to stream on Thursdays. I might be trying to speed that up, do some more, but yeah, that will depend. Let's try to rotate the station to make this a bit easier. Go. Target. Time warping. I'm only going 0.4 meters a second. Don't close the shield. I want a camera. So that's now pointing at the target. This is slightly off. Okay. Hopefully it's fine. Leave the SSTO on the SAS point at target. This one doesn't have that, so I have to manually point it at the target. Well, ideally, I would have just used the RCS on this to go the right way. This will do. There we go. That was all perfectly fine. Yeah, nothing went wrong, ever. Now then. Who do I need to transfer? Chris Bros. You can go into the hitchhiker container and Keldal. Keloud. You can also go there. That's... And everyone else will be making their way back to the Space Center. Actually, while I'm here, I can refuel some of this. Okay. Push away. Again. I believe that was far enough away that it's now going trigger. Yes. Okay. So now transfer fuel into that. I don't really need geyser. I think I did say earlier about effectively funding some of the mission through the fuel that we sell. But I think maybe keeping it on the station. Oh, no, wrong. Keeping it on the station so that then when I dock with it for the next mission will actually be useful. I guess I think I should probably put fuel as well. Make sure that's... Yep. So I'm leaving 2 of the Kerbals on the station. Yeah, 2 of the tourists because they need to go on to... One needs to orbit around the sun, the other needs to orbit around Gilly. So I'll send the 2 of them to Gilly and then bring them back afterwards, but until then they will spend some time on the station. Get more than they bargained for, I guess. And use the last of our monopropellant to get away from the station. Now, oh, you know what? Okay, we have just gone past, so try to go for a bit more of an aggressive landing than, or aero braking than I normally do. Yeah, they got space tourism to go to their destinations, and they get to spend time in a space resort. Totally resort, nothing else. Totally great conditions. Yeah. I'll give this a try. It's fine. So yeah, normally I will go for a burn around here and then just go flat into the atmosphere. I'm gonna try the high atmosphere break. Overshot a bit. Maybe a bit more than a bit. That's down to 30 kilometers. I don't like that. Do I? What was I aiming for, actually? I can't remember. I should also close the shield on that. Why would anyone want 2,500 units for just an orbital tuner? I don't know. Oh. Was that one of the contracts? I think it was, yeah, deliver it from Ike. So I guess you could put your refinery around Juna, but I think I'll probably put my refinery around Ike. How are we doing? Yeah, we've got plenty of extra charge. So they retract it, and then button down the hatches. Let's go for 35 kilometers. Abscess. Actually, yeah, that's fine. About. While I think about it, much weight upwards as possible. Have I seen the Artemis 2 launch? I didn't see the launch. I have somewhat been keeping track of what it's been doing while up in orbit. Tank this is, not a great one. These are though. Actually, put everything into the central tank and then everything out of the central tank. There we go. Now, let's see to move things out. I'm up to transfer the fuel. Have any other oxidizer? Much oxidizer? I do not have much oxidizer. Okay, that's fine then. First of all, let's put fuel into that one, and then to the side ones here. This should help keep going backwards and should help go forwards, if anything. To here. 60 years of progress and still can't stream 24/7 due to lack of bandwidth and coverage. I know. I saw some of the video and it's like, okay, I can't tell if that's video of Earth or the Moon because it's just so bad quality. And most of Ryan's viewers blue screen, yeah. Yeah. It is certainly unfortunate. But I can just time warp down to the atmosphere now. I mean, we've definitely got better bandwidth than that in space. We have satellites in geosynchronous orbit with much better bandwidth than what they've got in that. You think with how high profile they're trying to make the mission that they'd put like, high definition cameras on like give it a couple of high-definition cameras, maybe put one on the end of the solar wings, then have another one pointing towards the moon and another one pointing towards Earth. Then you can have like a time-lapse or something as it's moving towards the moon and away from the Earth, or as it's returning. But no, they don't have the bandwidth to stream everything, and like there's red streaks going through the video. Yeah. Okay, that's the to there. Perhaps this is dropping quickly now. I mean, yeah, it took me a few attempts to get a shuttle that would actually work, and then a few more attempts getting like improving like capability and everything. But you can get there eventually. NASA was smart enough to keep communication fully analog for its reliability. I mean, yeah, but high def would be nice. Oh, and okay, we are going forwards now. So I will just, for a moment, pop open the air brakes. Okay. That's helping us to actually point back upwards. We are going to overshoot, but we can fly back, I think. Getting some heat markers on the air brakes, but we're not heading directly into the air. Should help that. That we're kind of side on to the airflow. Yeah, I would, if you're wanting to make some like planes at work, I would recommend Matt Long. I think he's got some tutorials on making space planes in KSP, and like all the things that you would need to get a space plane working, like where you need to have your center of lift, for example. But yeah, I am massively overshooting KSC. Oh well. It's been a long time playing this game now. You got a North surveying satellite on me. You forgot to put an antenna. Yeah, yeah. I had a mission where I forgot to put antennas on things that were going to be sent to Eve. And I had about 4 different missions that needed to all be sent at the same time. So I then sent up this SSTO with several antennas on it. Got up to them, rendezvoused with all of them, and then just put it in. I had an engineer attach all the antennas. In a few years, space missions will turn to a big reality show. Please, please, no actual reality shows on the moon base. Oh, I hate that idea of a future. Oh. Have the network comm turned off, but the satellite still needs an antenna? Yeah. Not surprised. I mean, 4 astronauts being recorded 24/7 on their way to the moon. Okay. But like, reality show thing where they're stirring up drama, that would be horrible. I would not want to watch that. I wouldn't want that to be in my feed ever. I don't want to be in a world where that exists, that reality show exists. Okay, we are slowing down now to pretty safe levels. When kilometers up. I will turn off the nuclear engine. That activate the jet engines, because we will be turning around. Now that we're free first of the atmosphere, I am going to move some of this fuel back. Okay, no, I'll move it forwards again. I don't like the loss of stability there. Probably enough. I don't want the front to be too heavy when we land, but I also, as I mentioned, where you need the center of lift, you need the center of lift ahead of the center of mass for it to be stable. Yeah. The space version of Big Brother, definitely not what I want science to follow. Isn't there a Doctor Who Big Brother episode thing? Okay. Why does that not seem to be... Okay, it is. Okay. I guess it's just because I was trying to roll and turn? No, I think it's because it's ahead of the center of mass or lift. Okay. That's why it's pointing down instead of up again. Okay. Come on now. Turn around. The engine's just to be able to turn this thing around. Oh, I got to radio out. Okay. Now we're actually turning around. I need to go that direction. Okay. Let's just go 70 for now. Close enough. Yeah, it's easy, right? I think I can take... No, that's code now. Very simple, there we go. A bit more left. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's definitely nice to have someone to chat to. So thank you for sticking by. But yeah, how long do you think it would take them to put reality shows in space? Like once the first moon base is actually up and functioning? My guess is going to be, give it 15 years. Someone's going to make some kind of reality show out of it. I mean, they have to make lots of money, otherwise no one would actually make them, right? Then 15 years in, probably have enough technology and infrastructure set up that space flight would be feasible levels. established moon base. A few years later, they would finish the moon relay and start streams and stuff. I don't know what the current status is for the moon relay. I know they were originally planning on doing the moon relay first. And Canada was going to contribute Canadarm-free because that's all Canada can do. It's all the Canadarms. But then they want to do the moon base first. So no moon relay? I don't know. Let's throw it out. Nearly at the point at the Space Center. NASA is planning to finish the moon base in 2028 and have the launch was a success. That's just to beat China on a modern space race. I mean, wait, 2028? No way! Like, maybe start a moon base by 2028, but finish it? No. That's not happening. There's not a chance. You don't mean finishing? Okay. I mean, I could see them saying that they would, but there's no way they would actually finish it. But yeah, I mean, like, make it happen, like habitation. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. And yeah, there were possibly some interesting stuff there. For launching things back up into space. You could make a long railway and then have it elevated and then just electromagnetic launch things up into a fair distance into space. Right, I kind of forgot that we've got lift that will push that line further along. Let's put on the air brakes. I am going to need to make another turn. I've overshot it again. There are videos of some people goofing around and bunny hopping off in the seats. It's ground grade R2. And yeah, once we actually have a base there, I definitely imagine they'll invest in some infrastructure to transmit better. Actually, that's kind of a question. Where would they put the base? Would they put it on the poles, since that's where the ice is? Majority of it is, at least? Or they put us in Maine, in the equator? Okay. We're gonna try to pull off a pro gamer move here, if I can actually rotate things in my mind. And this way. Or at least we're going to attempt a pro gamer move. Try to get some extra thrust vectoring from the engines. There we go. Pulled out of that dive. We can bring the engines back down. I think you mentioned the South Pole? That does make sense. So I know one of the main goals is to harvest the ice from the caps. I don't like how fast we're going. Get off some speed. And maybe some S-bends. Okay. Not great speed wise, but manageable, I believe. I should have landed here. Okay, too late to adjust the angle. Oh, well, I lost the tail fins. Oh well. And let's pop the chutes. Brakes. Securing the moon base first is basically getting somewhat close to a resource monopoly. Yeah. There we go. Mostly a fine landing. We just lost some tail fins. It was coming in a bit too fast. But I guess I did just pull off a maneuver falling from 15 kilometers up. Basically straight down. So I will take that. That should have completed a couple of contracts. Oh, off. Yeah, some contract stuff. 100% value, recovered 95k. And so 95k, keeping in mind, oh, that's not what I wanted. Had a hard time accepting the fact that rocket fuel is literally water broken down. Yep. It's also, solid rocket fuel is metal. They are literally burning metal. Yeah. So 95k for a plane that costs 100k. I am not spending much on those missions. Speaking of, contract parameter complete. 60k, 90k, and some extra reputation, which gives more money. 24k. Station. Plan to. I've just rescued people from from the surface of Eve. Rescue someone from orbit. Low curve in orbit. Yeah, that's good. That will increase our numbers. No. Yeah, so you can see in the contract menu, there's the advance. So if you click accept contract, you'll just get that advance payment. When you complete it, you get the completion, and so get some science and some more reputation points. If you fail it though, then you lose the advance. Yeah, and typically it's you lose more than the advance, and then you also lose some reputation. So I can have a look around at some of my stations and bases. Scientists must be crazy to look at metal and water. It's not in real life. Any of those things just catch on fire and say, "Oh, this works." Well, the reason why water works, well, breaking up water to get fuel works, is that water is very stable. So if you break it up, you then let it combine and form water again. That gets you a lot of energy. Solid rocket motors, on the other hand, are more insane in that you're burning aluminium. Why have I got two things called Moon Station? Okay, let's see what this is about. Yeah, solid rocket motors are like, okay, I've got this one rusted metal, and I'll use the rust on that metal to make a different metal rust. Oh, right. Yeah, this is my putting a satellite, asteroid in orbit of the moon. Yes. So I have this whole thing. How did it work again? I think I had something else grab on to push it. but then I need to have some kind of base around the moon which could hold a certain number of Kerbals. But then also, if this was in the right position, then this spacecraft wouldn't be able to communicate because it would be eclipsed by the asteroid. And so I've got these just sticking out with relay satellites. And then, yeah, it's just RCS in order to maneuver them into position to connect. I think maybe I had something on the other side. I had something on the other side that was pointing directly into the center to push the asteroid into position. This is a new goal. It was difficult. Now, one thing you can do is put a drill on the front of your rocket that you attach, and then just drill up the asteroid, which makes it lighter, so therefore easier to push, and refills your fuel. I did like the space submarine kind of design that I had. This one. Fuel is depletable in asteroids, yep. And comets, which are effectively asteroids. So you can see here 46% remain and 64 tons out of a 133-ton asteroid. Still got some Kerbals on this. I don't think I need them on this anymore. Scientists? No research here. Okay. Yeah. I could probably send a mission to retrieve these two. But before that, let's up. No. Yeah. I do want to change the naming on this. Moon Rock Station. Rock Station? Yes, it is. Oh yeah, they've been here for 4 years. I didn't realize that. Nope, nope, nope. I was trying to open up the Steam overlay to make a note. Shut down those engines. Where are the other engines? What? Oh, here. That hasn't ruined, no. So I think I had just nearly a perfect 200-kilometer orbit. Now it's not. Oh well. You can't see me, but I'm writing a note there. Now let's switch over to the moon station. Yeah. 4 years looking to Oasia, poor internet. Yeah, this is a station. All the batteries. Yeah, these, I don't think they've been around here as long, because things have come and gone. Can transmit some science back. We can turn that into money. yeah, like you can tell with a lot of the stations, it's just okay. It started off with one thing, and then as different needs have come along, I've added more things to it. Yeah, I do enjoy some of these more than others. I don't like the that's clipping. However, I'm pretty sure that the alligator hinges have rotated. They are supposed to be in that gap, but somehow they have moved. Yeah, you can see I've got a moon lander here, which can also serve as an emergency vehicle. I've got some extra fuel tanks because this needed... I had a contract where it needed to have a certain amount of fuel. This was early on. This was a lot of fuel to send early on. I mean, this is... So this was the hub section, and then this was one of the first vessels that was sent here. With the science labs that I could get science from the moon. And yeah, research the science that had been on the ground, and bring it back up. Yeah, we also needed this capacity for monopropellant on the station. Got a cupola module here. And then, yeah, I brought an engineer along so that they could use the convertitrons as needed. But I haven't really needed this station much because I don't like how that's swinging. It's just the time warp. There we go. What? Moon debris catamaran SSTO. At some so yeah, one of the kind of house rules that I have, I guess, is that I don't delete things in orbit. So I'll occasionally send out missions to pick up the trash and deorbit it. Okay, there we go. Sent some more. Don't think I can level up at all. I might have already tried. No, that was the last one. Let's see. Any more? I think probably got, yeah. These can go into the lab. Already full. But yeah, so I've just got the Kerbal in here to the ISRU. Not that we have much need of it, because Minmus is better for ISRU. But I guess I could send some of the future missions by the moon, since we have a lot of fuel here already. But before the station starts to tear itself further apart, let's go have a look at something else. Don't have anything else in orbit. Interesting. I guess we can look at my scanner. Yeah, it is a bit of a long station. Probably do with some more struts. Yep, so here's my scanner. Just a survey scanner, and then I've got my science, and more repeatable science that I had at the time. So then if I ever got a contract to get science above a certain place, I could just use that. And then I've got the relay communication thing antenna, so that if I've got anything landed, I can help communicate. But then, ooh, asteroid grabber. That's probably what brought the asteroid in place. What's it doing over here? Ah, so yeah, this is what I used. Don't know why. Here though. Yeah, so basically I had the main grabbing arm, and then because you can have multiple attachments, just adding more arms that could then connect with the asteroid, just to keep everything more stable. and then 4 drills at the front, and ISRU. With a mammoth engine to actually do the majority of the thrust to like keep or to get things from being a hyperbolic trajectory to getting them into orbit, and then the nuclear engines to actually transfer. That's a fun one. Yeah, it is a drone. The crew was in the other module in the space rock. On my... Oh, yeah. I do have an ore shuttle. I think one of my latest contracts was to bring ore from the surface of Moon to orbit of Kerbal. So I just told the ore shuttle, okay, now that you've docked, just barely go outside of the sphere of influence of the Moon and then just return to the sphere of influence of the Moon. Yeah, do I have anything else in Kerbal that's interesting? Yeah, that's the thing. I've got one thing in geostationary orbit because I had a mission for that as well. Let's have a look. I guess we can look at my mining base. Moon. Didn't want Minmus. You select the moon. There we go. There we go. I had a contract to finish a rover, so a rescue rover there. Here is the moon mining base. Yeah, it is interesting to see what other people create, because there are a lot of crazy creations people make. And a lot of cool, just like normal looking cool ones. This is my old ore drone, I think. I've made a new one which is better at righting itself if it falls over. I think that one I actually, in order to get it to the mining base, I purposely put it on its side and then just roared it on the ground, which is really stupid, but it works. And then, yeah, this is my main mining base with like a connector module. So this can then... This was the original connector module that I had with wheels so that it could move around, and then using the inflatable airlocks to extend to be able to connect to things. You can see obviously I can't bring anything tall under here, so just having this here could move around. I'm noticing these gears. But yeah, then that wasn't all that useful because you need to be very precisely lined up with things, so then I made this connector module. It just has arms. Lots of arms. It also has its own Vertitron and drills so that it could launch. But I think it might have lost its engine. No, they're up here. Wow. And then, yeah, lots of drills. And lots of solar panels. Are all those drills. Now let's have a look at Minmus. So, you saw the base at the start of the episode. Yeah, I had another another probe that I needed to fix from a contract there. Go to the refiner. Yes. this thing, yes. Yeah, so once again, got a couple of ISRU convertrons here. Plenty of space for ore and batteries. Lots of batteries. I think the plan is to eventually deorbit this, but it's got fuel. Might as well keep it for a bit. Yeah, this is the ore transport thing for Minmus. Now I am noticing there only seems to be engines at the back. How do I take off with this thing? Is it literally just moon balls out underneath? I think it might be. Oh, what was I thinking when I made this? I am very happy to be looking through some of my order creations, because what was I doing? Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously the idea was I would be able to land on the surface and then drive around with the wheels. I think maybe I've got lights on the bottom. Well, maybe those are for driving, seeing where I'm going. But maybe I land vertically and then just tip over sideways. But yeah, how do I take off? Do I literally just... I can't imagine going fast on these wheels is great for them, since they're motorized. But I guess I just go fast enough until Minmus curves underneath me and I can take off. But yeah, that can transfer ore up into the refinery. I'll show you some of my minnet. So yep, just fairly straightforward. Couple of relay satellites, some more solar panels than I really need, some lights, just so it can be seen, and an engine. I am terrified of my own creation of that space car, I will be honest. It's probably something from contract or another. I wonder what the name is about. I wonder what this one looks like. Ooh, I think this is one of the stock ones, where they've got some, like, the solar panels put out and then they've got decorative struts. I do like that. That is cool. I did not design this. Just to make sure that's perfectly clear. I guess, yeah, the other... I've visited Joule. Got something here. Joule Probe 1. I think I did have some more stuff with this, but yeah, I got to Joule and forgot what the purpose of the mission was. I think this was intended to go in the atmosphere, and this one would stay up above. But then before I really needed to use it, I think I'd already finished all the science tree. But yeah, like, you can see I've got the heat shield here, I've got the strakes of the back to keep it pointed the right way. So the idea was this would go through Joule. You can also see I've got this it in this polar orbit that it's not going to guess an intercept of anything, so it will be fairly stable. Yeah, so if we go back to the inner solar system, the only other place I've gone to so far is Eve. Eve, there we go. So you can see I've done a fair bit around Eve, but mainly Gilly. What a lot of my base infrastructure is. I've got my relays, of course, and then a station, a polar orbit so that I could scan, and then I've also got my Gilly base. Gilly is great for refueling. Gilly has basically no gravity. If you're wanting to land on Gilly, you don't capture at Gilly, you just go straight for Gilly. Its gravity does not help you get there. Anyway, this was originally supposed to be, because you can see how this one's fairly close to the this relay, but it's also not in the right orbit for the relays. It was originally intended to be the third relay satellite. However, docking and undocking things moved it out of position. So then I added another relay. Again, isn't in the perfect position, but it is good enough. Yeah, this one's a bit more compact than some of my other refineries, but it still got the two Convertitron 250s. Gilly's fun. Okay, Gilly's mostly fun. There's a very unfun part of Gilly, and that is everything is slow. I've got a lot of Kerbals around the solar system. A lot of them are like having engineers so that it can improve the resource and the mining rate. Yeah. Yeah, you can get a Kerbal from the surface of Gilly up to the station with just EVA jetpacks. It's fairly simple. You can see we're 25 kilometers up, and our orbital velocity is less than 15 meters a second. You just head straight for whatever you're wanting in Gilly orbit. 3 years of waking up to a beautiful view of the deformed geode of insignificant gravity pool. They get a great view of a potato. And if we... I mean, at least they don't have to be on the potato the whole time. Unlike this guy, who is 24/7 mining and supervising the mining of Gilly. Yeah, this... I've got another drone on top, so... This is their view for the past nearly 2 years. I mean, at least I gave them a cupola module, right? They are also basically just lying flat down. Yeah, so what we have here, if I camera, I've got a ground anchor underneath here. So that's a part that you can pull out, and that lets you attach to planets and moons. Yeah, put a ground anchor, then I had an engineer Yes, velocity is pi. Maybe that's what we're drilling. We're drilling pi. Pi is our fuel source. Then we eat it too. Yeah, put a ground anchor, then use the engineer to put a docking port on top of it, and then just floated this with the engines onto the docking port, dock it up, and then just start mining. And then on top here, we've got the actual drone. So this just goes up to the station, unloads the ore, comes down, and then I've got the burner engines here, which burn liquid fuel and oxidizer, but they use RCS controls. So I basically just cancel out the velocity, position myself on top using RCS, and then just let it slowly fall down and dock. But yeah, the not fun part about Gilly is if you set up your encounter and you... it's not that bad to dock actually. Because I've basically just got this... I've got the thrust limiter here so that it just hovers. So I can just hold the up key. No. Hold the forward key. And then just press the movement keys until I'm directly on top of it. And with SAS it stays upright. Yeah, like you can see, it's not flush, like flat with the ground, but it's pointing outwards from the center of mass. So I can just have this also go SAS radio out, and then they're in line with each other. Yeah, as I was saying, the annoying part of Gilly is if you set up your maneuver to go from the surface up to the station, you are going to have to wait quite a bit. I think a couple weeks ago I finished the stream and then just waited an hour on 4 times physics warp. Just so, because you know how it is when it says, oh, your periapsis is too low, you can't go above 1 times time warp. Yeah, that is like a good chunk of this circle here. So you're just waiting to get up high enough that you can time warp. It's like you've completely cleared any obstacle. There's no risk of crashing. You're just stuck waiting. Yeah, that's Gilly. Now, around Eve, I have just rescued some people from here. Let's actually have a look at what I've left behind. Because it's a bit telling in how I got out of Eve. I was actually able to rescue Kerbal. Eve is difficult. Rendezvous is not sensitive. You can just burn straight towards something if you want to. It's all depends on how much fuel you want to spend and waste. I'll be honest, I don't know what this is about. Oh, I think it's because something... Yes, something broke. Like just Kraken attack, something broke. So I brought something else to replace the part. Yes, this. So a couple things here. This is actually, yeah, 2 separate things. The landing pad, or the launch pad has kind of broken apart. This is a helicopter. This is for fuel. This is where I landed and where I had... Actually, let's have a look. Rockcopter. It's not right. Is it? So I had a couple of Kerbals, yeah, down here in this, where the propellers broke. So I decided to bring them back. Now, on Eve, that is very difficult. I've also got like a surface scanning module. So in future, maybe I'll set up a permanent base. But I mean, it was useful for bringing them back. I had this as well. Oh, right. See, I brought another one because this rotors came off center for some reason. Yep. Helicopters work really well in Eve as long as the physics engine doesn't break on you and then put parts in places where they're not actually meant to be. I think it's because I physics warped while I was using it. PSA, do not physics warp on Eve. Yeah, the atmosphere is much denser than Kerbal, and surface gravity is also larger. So, yeah, I mean, helicopters and propeller planes are great for Eve. Getting around. But yeah, so what I did is I landed my rocket down, like, I landed it on the opposite side of the sea. I then had a helicopter on this attached to the top of my rocket. I landed the rocket empty, and then used the helicopter to bring it over to this side of the sea where the crew was, and then on top of the tallest mountain in the area to get out of the atmosphere as much as I could. What incredible creation you took inspiration to make the helicopter? Are you talking about like the heliplane or the helicopter? Because the helicopter was just, okay, I need it to have a Clampetron senior docking port on top to lift the rocket, and I need it to be a helicopter. And I needed to have enough power to power the helicopter. Space car. A normal Earth vehicle and other planets. But yeah, so this was attached to the top of the rocket. I brought it up to the top and then detached this, send it back down to pick up the refueler. So you can see, partial refueler. I had the refineries on this section, but they kind of got blown up when the rocket took off, unfortunately. Yeah, so this would mine down there where I found the good spot for good ore resources, and then attached the helicopter to it and brought it back up here, and then another propeller on this to actually drive this, and then using the grabbing unit to grab onto the base, so then I could transfer ore across and refine it. And then, yeah, I was able to use that to take off and then get them out into Eve orbit. And then there was another Kerbal that was in orbit of Eve that I got a mission to rescue. But now they're currently here waiting for like a year before they can actually return back. But they'll return eventually. That does make it annoying. I am annoyed that now I get the contract to put a flag on Eve after I put all that effort into bringing them back from the surface. Eve is rough. Eve is very rough. Yes. One day they will have a maneuver that takes them, well, they will be in position to take the maneuver. Do I have an Eve station? I don't think I do. I've just got various things in orbit of Eve. Some of them useful, some of them less so. But yeah, and then I have my first mission en route to Duna. this is more of a preparatory mission. So, yeah. I do like the space tug design on this one. Got the adapters here just to spread them out far enough, and then in most of these, I have 6 relay satellites. So 3 for Juno, 3 for Ike, and then 2 scanning satellites. So those will be put in polar orbits of Juno and Ike again. And then, yeah, 1 nerve rocket in the middle, and then 4 at this front section. And yeah, you can see I've got cowl controllers here on each of those bases. Now, from memory, I have it set up so that there's no explosive power on these decouplers, and basically it will turn on the side boost, I think. So I'll just press a key, it'll decouple and then boost sideways to get them out from whatever they're called. Yeah, shell thing. Yeah, so this will be prep work for all the Juno missions that I'll do. Yeah, my goal for the playthrough as a whole is to have relay satellites around every major body, and then also scanning or polar satellites in order to find all the anomalies. And then at some point, once I've gotten all that, I will go through and look at every anomaly that I find. That's the plan, at least. Yeah. Guess with the time I have left, I'll probably have a look at rescuing that Kerbal in low Kerbal orbit. Yeah. Where are Jeb, Bill, and Bob? Good question. That is a good question. They're out on missions. Most likely. I mean, Bill is almost certainly either mining or doing something like that. Mining or refining somewhere. Making use of the engineer bonuses. Bob is probably in the science lab somewhere. Go to the astronaut complex. Actually, let's see who's available. None of Jeb, Bill, and Bob. Okay. How about... There's Valentina. Your shuttle V2, so that's Bill also on your shuttle. And Bob on the main station. Yep. But yeah, so Ore Shuttle V2, that's the moon orb thing. Where is Jebediah? Get off. You don't know. Oh. Let's ignore that. Huh. I thought they returned. There's 0 missing Kerbals. Okay, everyone? Okay, yep, good, yep. Everything's fine. I did not realize he was dead, I'll be honest. I also thought they came back after a week. I guess I was wrong. In any case, look! Why is it KLO, not LKO? What? Any case, let's see what. Orbiter Kerbin already. Orbiter Kerbin. We've all got Orbiter Kerbin, don't we? Maybe Jedming Kevin is a good replacement. Almost same name. There's also a Jepson, but a scientist, I guess. Orbiter Kerbin. Orbiter Kerbin. Orbiter Kerbin. Yep. All of them have Orbiter Kerbin. Do I need to bring anyone? Yeah, I guess I'll have someone to say hello to them when they get there. Spaghetti, yeah, let's send you. Cockpit. Yeah, for good measure, let's put in a pilot too. Launch. Spaghetti Gammon. I mean, you've seen what happens when they get slightly squished, right? It's a fitting name. Now then, is negative 35 degrees, okay. That is target. And in there we go, phase angle. Almost 1 AM. Yep, have a good night. Thanks for dropping by. It's been a pleasure on my end too. Yep. I'll just, probably last thing for me tonight will be bringing this Kerbal to safety. Good night. Get down to 35 degrees. Oh, probably close, good enough. Take brakes off. On. Thrust up and engines. Spaghetti does not seem happy. I mean, neither does Ron Barge. Here, light pitch up. I think we can just cruise most of the way up. In that to the side so we can see when the thrust starts dropping. And otherwise it should be good until we get up to orbit. Building up speed. 600 meters by 3600. That seems good. Up 700 meters a second by 5 kilometers. .800 meters a second by 10 kilometers, although I think relative to, we're going up faster than we're accelerating now. 900 meters a second by before 9 kilometers, but I don't think we'll hit a kilometer a second by 10 kilometers. No, it's 960. It's fine though. I am fine with this current path. Getting up to about 15 degrees pitch. 15 kilometers, so we're going to start seeing that thrust drop down now. Surface speed, not increasing that fast, but we do have plenty of vertical speed. That will help us with getting our apoapsis out. And here the engine's dropping down in pitch. So, time to activate the nuclear and the aerospike engines. While the specific impulse of Whiplash is still better, we're not getting much thrust out of him now. Just activate the resources so we can see the oxidizers. Okay. I'm not getting anything from the jet engines to flame out, so I'll close the air intake. Close now. The action group. I'd say 23 degrees pitch up. The apoapsis is getting further away, that's good. A bit over a minute. That's about where I'd like to keep it. It's only 50 kilometers up. Could do with being a bit more. I think I'll disable the aerospikes for a moment. No, I don't want it in target mode just yet. I'd like to get to orbit before I'm trying to catch up with my target. Which should be less catch up and more slow down for it. Well, relatively speaking, slow down for it. You still need to aim a bit above prograde, because I do need to get my, or keep myself from falling too far or too close to hitting my maximum altitude. Once you go beyond apoapsis in this thing, it is very difficult to recover. You start to fall quickly. Okay. Seconds is okay. We're not really increasing our apoapsis fast enough to maintain it. I'll pitch up a bit more. We don't have much atmosphere here. Seconds. I'll pitch up a bit more, go for about 40 degrees and activate the aerospikes. Push our apoapsis up and give us more time to apoapsis. Now, as long as we get above 70 kilometers, we should be fine, especially since periapsis is above negative 300. There we go, apoapsis above 70. Keep going, burning to push our periapsis out. Should be good now. Nice craft. I sure do hope it doesn't become a manned Kerbal impactor. It should be fine. I've landed it a few times now. Several times. A few times recently. And I will just sort this a bit. Where is my target? Where it is. Are in the lower orbit for it, so we'll be catching up to it soon. Okay. Gone past Apoapsis, but we are out of the atmosphere, so that's fine. Periapsis is out of the ground. So aim a bit higher. Now there we go. Periapsis is out of the atmosphere. Slow this down a bit. Excuse me. Why are you calling this a deorbit module? Now let's try to get a better intercept. Now, 4 kilometers up. Okay, it's going up now. Lower. Down. Oh. That angle, 0.5, yeah, probably. Sorry. And activate that engine plate so it stops. I could have. Yeah. Okay. I can put it into target mode. Up forwards a bit. As we're in lower orbit, we will be catching up to it. Then, go retrograde to the target. Not quite retrograde, we want to push retrograde towards the target. In 1 minute and 7 seconds, but we will be pushing it towards that ascending node, hopefully. Which then means we should hopefully be meeting at a point, well, yeah, we'll be meeting at a point where the ascending node is. So that's where our inclinations are meeting. So that means that there won't be any inclination separation. It will have the speed impact, but it won't have a distance impact. Okay, down to 0.2 kilometers. Working on a MADV style moonlander. I really like its exterior elevator rather than ladders. Oh, fancy. Now, MADV is that. Point at target so I can find the target. Well, I was on anti-target, of course. I could have known where the target was from that. Let's go back to retrograde relative to target, because we still got 40 meters a second of speed to cancel out. Mars lander concept from Lockheed. There are spikes for this. Maybe not. Yes. Okay. I have pushed it a bit too far. Autosave. Oops. Actually, let's retract the solar panels. And the cow controller that's set up for 9. Right, it's on 9 and 0. Go it out. Activates the engine. And returns the hinge back to where it is. This one also activates its grabbing arm. So, let's target. And off we are. Mars descent vehicle. Have a look at that when I'm not to catch something. Or hit it slowly, in other words. There we go. And then let's bring this back temporarily. I could have just brought them out and EVA'd them, but I feel... Hang on. What? Was the engine still on? Yes, it was. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. More manageable. So the idea of this is actually that it will deorbit it afterwards. I don't have any debris. Now you... Oh, let go. So way over. Good. Oh, it's a full module. Okay. Let go. Get to go into the crew compartment. There we go. Now this does have RCS on it. But this was a contract to rescue a Kerbal. As you can see, contract parameters complete, save him, now part of the Space Program crew. Okay, and now on this, let's go orbit, retrograde. And I mean, it's not like we're going to get any amount of money from this, so retrograde we go. For good measure, I guess you'll activate the parachutes. Like what happened to the Australian spacecraft would just be one part. What are the other agencies doing? Yeah. Although, I have seen some pretty impressive one-part missions people have done. Or actually, there's a two-part to... I think it's a two-part mission to... not Mars. Let's just do some physics swap. Twin Boreal engine has onboard fuel and yeah, Juno. But there's a two-part mission I've seen where someone, because they don't have enough parts to stage, so what they do is they take it past Ike and then destroy the engine using Ike, leaving just the probe core or something to float down to Juno surface. Survive re-entry. Yes. Fire. Ending. Yeah. Down we go. No explosions this time. There you go. No explosions this time, but we do have a recovered part for however little money. There we go, touchdown and recover. Oh, so close to being 69 value. Oh well. Now to land this plane. Which requires being able to... Oh. Agencies don't want you to know this, but Kerbals and Orbiter free. Yep. Basically every time I see like rescue someone from low curve in orbit, I'm like, yes, thank you. Now the last attempt, quick landing didn't go great. I think I'll move it back a bit. I mean, it landed successfully. Just I overshot a fair bit. I'm up there, and then as Kerbal rotates underneath, I will... I mean, I think I've hired like 3 Kerbals and everything else, all the others have been rescues. I have a lot of Kerbals everywhere. So I'll do actually. I'd like it to be more over here, but I've kind of already passed that point of the orbit. I could do radio, I guess. Did I? Warping, and there we go. Close enough. I'll try to go for the sensual after Kevin not doing corporate espionage. Ah, that's how they end up in orbit with only one part. They have they secretly put decouplers around it to Kevin. Let's see. That's point prograde. Let's also just close that. Time warp. Do we hit the atmosphere? Other way around. Yes. Yes, and let's go radio. Let's see how this goes this time. Slightly better. We'll probably undershoot massively. Which point I can switch to just point in progress. Up a bit. No re-entry effects yet. I think they will be happening soon. Oh, underwater. Not how I expected you to turn prograde. Okay. And down the physics warp. Glide in. Yeah, massively undershooting this time. Oh well. Lunar multiplayer mod is fine, because you can get a text from a friend saying Jeb is stuck in a highly inclined high Kerbal orbit with 0 jetpack fuel, and expecting you to get him back. There used to be another multiplayer mod. I don't recognize Lunar. Just slightly. That extends. It increases the drag, but it also increases the lift. Which one wins out? I can't remember. Get me further, or does that get me... Oh. Dark multiplayer? That does ring a bell. But multiplayer I'm thinking of is probably like a decade old at this point. Kerbal multiplayer? I don't think so, because I remember it having a name and thinking, that seems odd. Name choice. I think it was Dark Multiplayer, but maybe it was... Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, that pitch up is a bit aggressive now. Let's bring that back down. Down. That's more reasonable. Yeah, Dark multiplayer. Yeah, that video was from 2014. Wow. EE and Hot Gaming. just noticing, is that... Okay, the radio station's probably like... Is it talking with KSC? Direct part connection to Space Center, okay. Because I was thinking, that's a strange place to put your radio center in the middle of the ocean. I guess it's not included then. Interesting. Just about to see the mountains by the Space Center. Although if you're inside the plane, you're not going to be able to see them. Because you're not going to be able to see much of anything. Well, you can see fire. This is your view from... Oh, I guess you can see the some of the Kerbal from the side. The surface velocity. Oh. Path now is going to the top of the mountains. Bring that down a bit. We're now on track to go over the... Yeah, so there's a setting to make it occlude. I've got occlusion. I guess it's just close enough. Because I remember I do set my what are they called? Relay satellites to be far enough out so that there's no risk of mountains occluding. Maybe I've just got easier occlusion or something. Can I look at the settings? Difficulty custom. Do I click custom? Okay, yeah. Hang on, missing crew respawn. Occlusion advanced, I guess. I think that's the default value that it was on. It did enable extra ground stations there. Let's see. We'll say that's pretty good placement. I can... Let's go between pushing down and pushing up to slow down. Add in air brakes. Also go for a bit of a right turn. The line up runway. And then the air brakes. Navigation. Yeah, a bit of a shock front door in terms of turning. Ooh, nope. Oh, Now I'm undershooting the runway. And a bit too hard. Bring the jet engines on then. Fortunately, won't be able to just glide. Sure I don't stall though. Bit of speed towards the ground. I should also turn on ground radar. Yes. Oh, I had it on brake grade, that's why. That's a comfortable speed. Although, go faster. Yeah, that seems fast enough. Slowly descending. Do you want to aim for about there? And then I can flare onto the runway. In terms of being lined up, I think I need to be a bit more north. Touch though. Up with runway. Okay. Yeah. Probably be still nearly there. It's the rudder to line up. A bit lower. Brakes on just a tiny bit. Air brakes, that is. Yeah. Still just a bit south. Looking better lined up. Speed-wise is okay. Could go with being a bit lower, but of the gears down. Out there. Gears out. It's a bit early for a flare, but not my greatest landing. No. Especially since I'm running out of runway. Okay. Brakes. Didn't need for parachutes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could have gone slower. But it was... I have basically just floated this down, then landed on a dime for... that works. Off. Shit. I can't be bothered to actually bring it back. Hang it. So I think that's, yeah, that's probably where I'll end of the day. In any landing you can walk away from, when my SSTO has consistently lost its front gear but always survived. So, like, it would end up like this, and just scraping along the front of a, scraping its front along the runway. That does not sound good. That sounds like you would need quite extensive repairs. Oh, um, the risk that I sometimes have when landing is these like rudders and stabilizers will get destroyed. Doesn't take much angle to hit the ground with them. You can see there's not much clearance, but when I'm coming in high speeds, I wasn't able to have the stabilization from the strakes on top, so I had to add some to the bottom as well. Hmm. Yep. I think I've got a clip somewhere of me just being completely surprised by how slow of a landing I managed to get with this. One landing gear and fuel cost per launch. Landing gear optional if you're willing to auto land it. Yep. I mean, I guess, yeah, they're probably not that expensive. And yeah, water landing it also. I've done before with this one. I used to do it a fair bit before I figured out roughly how hard to do a re-entry with it. But sometimes if I'm coming from Minmus directly and I'm not wanting to like get into orbit first, I'll just land wherever. But the disadvantage of landing at water is you don't get the 100%. Ah, 99k recovered from like 107k. I think yeah, I did this one. I didn't do this one. I've got a few variations. Like the KLO ones have, they have a couple of probes in them to deorbit stuff. The moon one I don't remember, but I know it's originally for the Minmus. That's like what I designed it around, and it's got an engine on the inside to just pitch up to take off. Yeah, anyway, we've covered a, successfully recovered a Kerbal and Gilly Station. Add another in-situ resource utilization converter. I've already got 2 large ones. Currently supports 11 Kerbals. What do you mean my station that's currently in orbit with Gilly is incomplete for putting it in orbit with Gilly? So 5 more Kerbals, ensure it has antenna docking port and can generate power. Yeah. $5,000 science just sitting around. I could turn that into money. After all the money I spent to recover someone from Eve. Oh, a couple of Kerbals from Eve, yeah. If we go to Lee. Gilly Station. Why is it having such a difficult time with getting that position? Yeah, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Successful landing. Yeah, talking about the front gear being lost reminds me of that plane which had the front gear turned sideways. Maybe you just come down too hard on the front gear. Yeah, we've got 2 already. Oh, yeah, recover. I was switching this so that I could see the requirements of the contract, but I can't see it until I pick up the contract. Yeah, that was silly of me. I am getting tired. Probably not good to be tired points. I'm going to kill the Kerbal. So I will be saying goodnight to you there. I hope you've enjoyed. If you're watching this as a VOD later, let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, should hopefully be same time next week. Hopefully. Till then.